Raul Avila here, the salsa expert. Welcome back. This is part 2 on commentary I'm doing on a video that's out there on YouTube regarding an interview with Frankie Martinez and Josue Joseph, and it has to do with topics such as difference between on 1 and on 2 and clave and a few other little things regarding the dance. But again, I'm doing this video because someone brought this to my attention, and after seeing the video they were pretty confused, and after I saw it I was confused. So basically what I want to do is just bring clarity to what was said and the responses, and to separate fact from fiction so that we can have a clear understanding of these things, because it's because of videos like this that there is a lot of confusion and controversy behind some of these topics, such as clave, such as this thing between on 1 and on 2. But in this video, what we're going to do is go over a question that was asked, and it was a funny kind of question, almost an unanswerable question, regarding how does a dancer grow, let's say, if they don't want to go beyond their comfort level. So anyway, let's hear the question.
There comes a time when there's more to dancing than just having fun. Without being diplomatic in your response, Mr. Martinez,
this is going to be fun.
Please share what you say to a dancer who has no desire to grow beyond their comfort zone.
Okay, so as you can see, it's a funny kind of question. It starts off saying, yeah, dance should be fun, but there are times when dance isn't fun. And well, now we have to try to figure out what does that person mean by that it's not fun. Okay, maybe they're doing performance, something else, I'm not sure. But in terms of social dance, it's all about fun. It's all about expressing yourself. So I'm not sure where this person is going with this type of question. Let's listen to his first response.
You can't force people to understand something. That when people are ready, then they can understand something. If they are not ready, then there's a lot of retaliation, and there's a lot of fight, and you end up causing more conflict than you do clarity.
Okay, so the first thing he says is he doesn't like to force an understanding on anyone, which is, of course, nobody wants to force anything on anyone, and that's perfectly fine. The only thing is it's not addressing the actual question. He's kind of interpreting some answer based on the question, which we're not sure what it is. So much for that. Let's go to the next response.
The stage that a man has to go through, the turn pattern thing, the lots of turns, that's a stage, that's puberty. We have to go through that. I went through it. The problem is that if we don't recognize it as a stage and we recognize it as truth, then we're in trouble, right?
Okay, so the next interesting thing that he mentions about this question is all of a sudden he starts talking about the stage that the man has to go through, obviously as a developing salsa dancer. And he makes reference to these multiple turns that you see guys always doing. For some reason, there's a certain style of dancing that likes to give ladies a lot of turns. But it's the way he addresses it. For example, he says that that's a stage, and that he's calling it puberty when somebody learns to dance and you're just giving ladies a lot of multiple turns all the time. And in a way, he's kind of insulting people who like to give a lot of turns to a lot of ladies. It is a style of dancing. So again, it's a preference. You like to give turns or you don't like to give turns. He's talking about his own personal experience, because he says if we don't recognize it as a stage and recognize it as truth, we're in trouble. So my question is, what trouble? I mean, this is his truth. It's not somebody else's truth. In other words, there is no universal truth. It's his own personal preference. If he doesn't want to give ladies multiple turns, fine. Don't give multiple turns to ladies. Some guys like to do that. And for the most part, they don't grow out of it per se. They keep doing it. Maybe they change their dance a little bit here and there. To call something puberty as if to say that you're infantile if you're dancing this way is to insult people and to judge people. And, that really is neither here nor there. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't validate anything.
The poor woman just happens to be the victim, right?
He mentions the poor woman, associates the poor woman as a victim. And again, that's not correct, right? I mean, there are ladies out there that, they run in certain circles, and they're all known for spinning and doing turns, and they look forward to them. That's part of their sort of way that they enjoy their dance. It could be ego trip, doesn't matter. The point is that that's what they do, and there are a bunch of ladies that don't like to be turned so much. Okay, so again, it depends on the circles that you run in. But I wouldn't call, I wouldn't call ladies victims or the poor lady. No, people who dance among each other, they know what to expect and what's coming, and they adjust their dance to that. So again, neither here nor there. We can't look at the fact that because the women are doing the multiple turns, that we're doing something bad to them. No, again, it's a preference of dancers and people who come together to dance with each other to decide what is it that they like about what they're doing with each other. And for some, that's doing multiple turns.
But check this out. Women go through their stages too, right? Women go through their stages. The first thing a woman is concerned about is looking cute. She's not concerned with being rhythmically down. She's not worried about the relationship of lead and follow. She's not worried about that. She wants to look cute, right?
Okay, next comment. Women go through their stages too, and then he mentions that the first thing they want to do is look cute. Well, if you're hanging out with, maybe 16-year-olds or 17-year-olds or 18-year-olds, maybe you get that. But I have come across many women in their 20s, 30s, 40s, whatever, and they're not interested in looking cute. They're interested in dancing, staying on time, learning to be able to follow, to put their styling, express themselves. So again, that's just another one of those comments that, well, it's a nice kind of funny joke type of thing, but it absolutely has no validity whatsoever.
Maybe they're never ready to understand it. That doesn't change my life. That doesn't make me sour about anything. I'm still going to enjoy this immensely, whether you get it or not, right?
So the last comment that he makes regardless of whether someone understands, in reference to the question, if somebody wants to grow as a dancer, he's still going to enjoy the dance immensely. And that's the whole point, right? And even though this question was kind of weird, in terms of, trying to find out why doesn't somebody want to grow? What do you say to somebody who doesn't want to get out of their comfort level? Well, all right, stay where you want to stay, whatever that means, however you're expressing that particular thing through dance. So it really just comes back to what he says. You just enjoy yourself. That's what you're there for. That's why people go out and social dance. I don't see any other reason why people would social dance if it wasn't just to enjoy themselves. Now, whether you can do a double turn, or whether you can do a single turn, or whether you feel a little bit insecure about doing something in the dance or not, well, that's another issue altogether. Because I'll tell you this, some of the best dances that I have had have been with just people who didn't really know how to dance that much, but we laughed, we did things, and we didn't take it so serious. We just, connecting to the music, hitting a break, doing something to connect with each other, humans to humans, and just making it as enjoyable as you possibly can. So yes, you don't need to have all this technique or knowledge or whatever to enjoy yourself, and that is the whole point. Okay, so next week we're going to deal with part 3, and this is going to be a juicy one because I'm going to be dealing with clave, one of the most misunderstood aspects of salsa dancing and music for a lot of dancers. So we're going to deal with that, and stay tuned for next week. Until then, keep dancing. De Nueva yo no me voy, porque aquí fue donde